Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Another tragedy for the Kennedy family. A 22-year-old woman found dead at the Kennedy compound in Hyannisport, Massachusetts. We'll have the family's reaction.
Thousands gather in Gilroy once again, but where last week they gathered for an annual festival, now they gather in mourning as the community continues to heal after Sunday's shooting.
Even as containment grows, residents in the Squirrel Valley area remain on edge. Fire crews continue their fight against the Mesa Fire in an area where so many homes burned in the 2016 Erskine Fire. This is August 2nd, 2019. Good morning and good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. Yeah, I have some friends up there and it's just, you know, they've gotten it under control. It was a smaller fire, but they are just on edge, just from the memories.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, when you think about how much brush is out there and, you know, that we saw a very rainy season, but it still dries out, and that's the other concern, too, that I know a lot of residents up there say, and I know that I've spoke with fire officials who say that, you know, the concern actually is not during the summer months. It's going to be in August, September, or even in October when we could see even more fires just because things do dry out and it's still hot during those months. So something to obviously always think about.
And it's still going to be hot this weekend as we get ready for it. Let's check in with Kevin and get that forecast.
Yeah, they were in the 90s yesterday, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. You see a great rainy season. That means more vegetation grows, and then, you get more vegetation that dries out, and then you have the higher fire danger. So yesterday we were in the 90s for the Kern River Valley. For us here in the valley, we hit 100, barely hanging on. The record on that date, 112, set back in 1979. Out there right now, we've got 72 in Bakersfield under a calm wind. And as we take a look at our dog walk forecast today, our featured pup is Zoe. Zoe kind of chilling out in the little kiddie pool, trying to stay cool. You can see throughout the day, by 10 a.m. we'll be at 81 degrees. And then by 2 o'clock, we'll be in the lower 90s. Again, if you'd like your pet featured with our dog walk forecast, you can send your picture to Kevin Charette at KGET.com. Here's a look at Tehachapi right now. 57 degrees, a north wind at 6 miles per hour. And hour by hour, we're going to start out in the upper 50s, 72 at 9, and then 80s throughout the afternoon. We'll talk more weather in just a little bit, but first, let's see your Friday morning commute with Alex.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Taking you outside for the first time this morning and have a look at the 99 near 7th Standard, and it's looking pretty clear on that side of town. Everything else around the county are looking pretty good for the most part. We do have one car crash on the I-5 northbound lanes near the Gorman off-ramp, so just be mindful if you're headed out that way. No injuries here, but CHP, of course, is still on scene. Everything else looking pretty good around the county. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
Well, it's official. Yesterday, members of the Kern County Sheriff's Command Staff Association voted to accept a pay raise offered by county leaders who say it will make top brass and rank-and-file deputies the highest-paid law enforcement in Kern County. While the Command Staff Union has signed on, a vote by hundreds of sheriff's deputies hangs in the balance. 17's Anton Wallace explains.
A proposal county leaders said would make the Kern County Sheriff's Office the highest-paid law enforcement agency in Kern County has been approved by members of the Kern County Sheriff's Command Staff Association, a union that represents 36 high-ranked members within the Kern County Sheriff's Office, including chief deputies, commanders, lieutenants, and DA lieutenants. Commander Adam Pluggy is the treasurer with the union.
I believe it is a fair contract. Each one of our members will get a raise of some sort. It won't be a substantial raise, but I do believe that it is a fair contract.
A contract that county officials say will result in a 3 to 10% raise for the members. Previous benefits, including the Kern Flex 10% edition and Fitness Pay 4% edition, will now roll over to the base salary. A salary that, for the entry-level lieutenant, will jump from roughly $100K to $106,656, coming out to a 5.7% increase. That figure is roughly $1,000 more than what the same level BPD lieutenant makes. The Kern Law Enforcement Association union that represents hundreds of KCSO sergeants and below continues to negotiate with county officials. Meantime, Pluggy says he and his members are now looking toward the future.
I believe that this is a good step going forward and moving forward at this point, because everything has been stagnant for so many years at this point. So I think it is a step in the right direction.
Members of the Board of Supervisors still need to approve the deal. They're set to take it up on August 13th.
The Kennedy family in mourning over the death of 22-year-old Saoirse Kennedy Hill. Yesterday, police found Hill, the granddaughter of Ethel Kennedy, dead at the Kennedy compound in Hyannisport, Massachusetts. Right now, it's unclear how Hill died. Local and state police are investigating. The Hyannisport home has been a summer spot for the Kennedy family for decades. A statement from the Kennedy family said in part, "Our hearts are shattered by the loss of our beloved Saoirse. Her life was filled with hope, promise, and love. The world is a little less beautiful today. We will love her and miss her forever." The mourning continues in Northern California in the wake of Sunday's deadly shooting at the Garlic Festival. Last night, thousands gathered in downtown Gilroy for the latest tribute to the victims of that shooting. During other vigils this week, people have seemed shocked or rattled that such violence came during this town's signature summer event. But last night, there seemed to be a sense of strength and solidarity. At one point, the crowd broke out in a chant, "Gilroy strong." It will take some time to get back to normal, but it's clear Gilroy is strong, especially when the community comes together.
Fight continues this morning against a large brush fire in the Kern Valley. The so-called Mesa Fire sparked Wednesday afternoon near Quail and Bobcat Drives in the Squirrel Valley area. That's the same area hit hard by the Erskine Fire in 2016. So far, the fire has burned close to 230 acres and is 60% contained. Firefighters have been able to protect all structures. Kern County Fire Engineer Andrew Freeborn says people living in here are not surprised by fires, but still need to be prepared.
Take the time in advance to prepare. That way, when an emergency does happen and seconds count, those seconds will be on your side.
He says people should have an escape plan in place, a packed bag ready to go, and they should also sign up for alerts on readykern.com.
Another massive fire ripped through parts of Southern California near the Mexican border. The so-called Caliente Fire scorched nearly 500 acres of open space before reaching a pallet yard. Then, as you can see, the fire really took off. More than 50 fire officials were on site to control the blaze before it did significant damage to businesses in the area. But firefighters couldn't bring the flames under control when the fire got near the pallet yard. The wood pallets combined with propane tanks on the property that forced firefighters back. Thousands of piles of pallets were reduced to ashes. Here's another look at the fire. Firefighters were able to bring the flames under control, but both pallet businesses lost almost everything except their business offices. No word on what started the blaze.
5:07 now. A man who escaped police last week is a suspect in a number of shootings in Bakersfield. Court documents reveal investigators believe this man, Dion Hodge, dropped his cell phone at a shooting in December, and bullets from that shooting match bullets found at another crime scene in March. Those same documents reveal police used the phone to find Hodge at an address on Stockdale Highway last Thursday. But Hodge led officers on a chase, then escaped near Plans Park. After police found a high-capacity magazine with ammunition that matches casings found at the shootings. They searched the address on Stockdale and uncovered 3 handguns, an AR-15, and 2 high-capacity rifle magazines. If you see Hodge or know where he is, call 911. Welcome back. Wish 33 is coming true. Strata Credit Union continues its goal of granting 70 wishes for its 70th anniversary. The Current Genealogical Society received a grant of $1,900 yesterday at the Beale Memorial Library. The funds will allow them to overhaul their website, helping them take in donations, manage requests from out of state, and track membership. The Society's goal is to serve the community and beyond in genealogical research.
So we're really excited about the opportunity that this has offered us, because otherwise we're not a large organization. Our dues are only $20 a year. It would take us a very long time to raise the money that we needed to get this startup fee. So it's just a wonderful opportunity for us, and we're so excited. It's been a long road to get to the point where we feel like we can step out with technology.
By the way, Strata's still taking wishes. You can submit one by dropping it into a wishing well at a Strata branch or online. Strata was formerly known as Kern Federal Credit Union.
Well, if you've been looking to add a new 4-legged friend to your family, you're in luck. Yesterday, Kern County Animal Services started a 3-day adoption event. The event is sponsored by Assemblyman Vince Fong, KCAS, and Marley's Mutts. The first 100 pet adoptions are free. And at last check, 33 animals were adopted, meaning that just under 70 adoptions are still free. The shelter has a number of cats and dogs looking for forever homes. And for families living in rural towns, even horses and pigs. You can find the shelter on Fruitvale Avenue. It'll be open from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. today and Saturday. And coming up at 6 a.m., Vanessa Dillon will join us with a live look at some of the animals that are up for adoption. And in just a few weeks, hundreds of shelters across the nation will team up with NBC TV stations for our annual Clear the Shelters campaign. It's our nationwide pet adoption drive to find new forever homes for animals in need. We're taking a look at video from last year's event with Bakersfield City Animal Shelter, where there are dozens of cats and dogs waiting to be loved. It's all happening Saturday, August 17th from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the shelter, 201 South Mount Vernon Avenue.
We have just a week to go in our back-to-school drive with the Bakersfield Homeless Center, and we're hoping to collect 700 backpacks with basic school supplies to make sure kids from kindergarten to high school have everything they need for a successful school year. There's also a need for clothing and underwear for boys, girls, and teens. You can drop off donations at our station on 22nd and L Streets or the Homeless Center on East Truxtun Avenue.
And a local ministry is in the back-to-school spirit, and they want to help kids get there, too. Blessing Corner Ministries is hosting a back-to-school fun day today, where kids can get free backpacks, school supplies, haircuts, and immunizations. There will also be a petting zoo, food, and games and prizes. It's all happening from 9:30 till 1:30 later today, but the immunizations end at 12:30. You can go to the Blessing Corner at the corner of Union Avenue and 1st Street near Brundage Lane. And I'm excited because I'll be out there. What they have is, of course, they've got a lot of people that are going to be out there kind of talking to the kids and getting them excited for the back-to-school season because, you know, school begins in less than 2 weeks. And, you know, I mean,
here it comes.
Go back to when you were a kid, and sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking to, you know, go back into school. There's new beginnings and so forth. And so they've got a lot of people that are going to be out there kind of, you know, cheering them on. So it'll be a fun event.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
5:25 now. Lowe's is getting ready for a big round of layoffs. The company plans to let go of thousands of workers who assemble items like grills and patio furniture and maintenance workers. Lowe's says it's outsourcing those jobs to third-party companies to let store associates spend more time on the sales floor serving customers. The company would not say exactly how many workers are being laid off. Workers whose jobs are being eliminated will be given transition pay and the chance to apply for open roles within the company. Lowe's has more than 1,700 stores in the U.S. No word on when the layoffs or if the layoffs will affect the Bakersfield locations. If you have trouble putting money aside in a savings account, maybe the solution is to stop struggling and put things on autopilot. Money expert Stacey Johnson explains.
If you want your grass to grow, you got to water it. Simplest way to do it? With an automatic timer so you don't have to think about it. The same thing applies to your savings. If you find your savings account is getting a little withered, maybe what you want to do is add to it automatically. How do you do it? Let's count the ways. The single best idea is one of the oldest. Have money automatically taken out of your paycheck and transferred to a savings or retirement account. It's called paying yourself first. Then there's rounding up. Some banks, like Bank of America, have programs that automatically round up debit card purchases and transfers that amount to your savings account. Then there's the old-fashioned version of that concept, saving change. Want to turbocharge this automatic savings? Do what I do. Save singles as well. Speaking of which, it's been proven that using cash automatically makes you spend less compared to plastic. Use cash and you'll have more money to save. Can't part with your credit cards? Well, use one that offers cash back or rewards. Then you're earning cash or equivalents without effort. If you find you don't have any money to save, use some old standbys like buying generics or using coupons. Your receipt will often say how much money you saved. Put that money aside. That's 5 ways to save more automatically, but that's not all. For more tips, go to MoneyTalksNews.com and just do a search for savings. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacey Johnson. Money Talks is brought to you by your local consumer credit counseling service. If you've got debt problems or just want some free budget counseling, call today.